Level 1, the recruit. You're 19 years old. You walk into a Navy recruiting office in a strip mall, between a nail salon and a subway. You tell the recruiter you want to be a SEAL. He's heard it 1,000 times. He slides a brochure across the desk and tells you the truth, that 8 out of 10 who try will quit. You take the ASVAB, you score high enough, you sign a contract with a SEAL challenge guarantee, which means you get one shot, and if you fail, the Navy still owns you for the next 4 years. You pass the PST, the physical screening test, 500-yard swim, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, a 1.5-mile run. You crush it. You think that means something. It means nothing. You ship to boot camp at Great Lakes, Illinois, in the dead of winter. 8 weeks of folding underwear into 6-inch squares and marching in formation. You graduate. Your family drives 12 hours to watch you stand in a gymnasium for 40 minutes. Then you board a plane to San Diego, Coronado, the beach where it all begins. Level 2, the Tadpole. You arrive at the Naval Special Warfare Center. They call you a tadpole, the lowest form of life. You spend weeks in indoctrination just learning how to suffer correctly. Then first phase begins. 24 weeks of Bud/S. The instructors wear brown shirts and they are not your friends. You do flutter kicks in the cold sand until your hip flexors seize. You carry an inflatable boat called an IBS on your head with 6 other men, and when one man quits, the boat gets heavier for everyone who stays. You do log PT, hoisting a 200-pound telephone pole over your head as a team. You lie in the 70-degree Pacific surf, arms linked, while the instructors stand on the dry sand and call it surf torture. Your body shakes, your lips turn blue. They tell you the bell is right there. 3 rings and it all stops. Hot coffee, a warm blanket, a ride home. Men ring it every single hour. You watch their helmets line up in a row on the asphalt. You do not ring it. Level 3, the survivor of Hell Week. Wednesday of the 3rd week it starts, 5.5 days, no sleep, except maybe 2 hours total, spread across a week. You run 200 miles. You are wet and sandy and cold for 130 hours straight. They blast you with fire hoses. They make you do races in the mudflats of the Tijuana Slough, called the demo pits, where the smell of sulfur fills your lungs and you can no longer tell your teammates apart, just brown shapes in a brown world. You hallucinate. You see octopuses in the sand. You fall asleep standing up and wake up still running. Your skin rubs raw where the wet uniform meets your thighs. Men with broken legs keep going. Men with pneumonia keep going. On Friday, an instructor finally says the words, "Hell Week is secured." You get a brown shirt and a chance to sleep. You started with a class of 170. 30 of you are left. You made it. You think the hard part is over. It isn't. Level 4, the Trident. You finish dive phase, where they teach you to stay calm underwater while they rip your mask off and tie your air hoses in knots. You finish land warfare on San Clemente Island, learning to shoot, move, and communicate, learning demolitions, learning to live in the field. You graduate Bud/S. Then there's still jump school, where you learn to exit a plane at 1,200 feet. Then SQT, SEAL qualification training, another 6 months, cold water, close quarters combat, more shooting than you've ever done in your life. And finally, in a ceremony, they pin a gold trident to your chest, the eagle, the anchor, the pistol, the trident. Men call it the Budweiser. You are now a Navy SEAL. You are 21 years old. You feel 10 feet tall. You drive to the team with your orders in hand, ready to be a hero. The older guys barely look up. To them, you are nobody yet. You haven't done anything. Level 5, the new guy. You check into a SEAL team. You're the new guy, the FNG, and you will be the new guy until someone newer arrives. You don't talk in meetings. You clean weapons. You stack the gear. You pack the parachutes. You carry the heaviest load. You go through a workup. 18 months of training to get ready for one deployment. You learn your platoon. 16 men who will become closer to you than your own family. You train in the kill house, a building made of rubber walls, running room clearance drills 10,000 times until it lives in your spine. You learn to breach a door with explosives. You learn to fast rope from a helicopter onto a moving ship at night. You deploy. Iraq, or Afghanistan, or somewhere they won't let you name. Your first real mission, you're stacked on a door at 3 in the morning, heart pounding, and you realize this is no longer training. The breach goes off. You flow into the room. It happens in 4 seconds. Afterward, your hands won't stop shaking, and an older operator hands you a water bottle and says nothing. That's the job. Level 6, the operator. You deploy again and again. The deployments blur together. 8 months gone, home for a while, then gone again. You become good at this, frighteningly good. You're a breacher now, or a sniper, or a comms guy. You have a specialty, and the team relies on you for it. You've kicked in more doors than you can count. You've seen things in those rooms that you will never tell your wife about, because there are no words that fit at a dinner table. You start to feel the cost. A buddy from Bud/S, the one who is funnier than everyone, is killed when a helicopter goes down. You carry his casket, you fold the flag. You drink too much for a few weeks, and then you go back to work, because the next workup is already starting. You miss your daughter's first steps. You see them on a phone screen from a plywood hut 8,000 miles away. You tell yourself there will be time later. There is a lie you tell yourself, and that's it. Level 7, the leader. After 10 years, you're a chief petty officer. You're not the trigger puller anymore. You're the one who plans the mission. You're the LPO, then the platoon chief. 16 lives are your responsibility now. You sit in briefings with intelligence officers and laser pointers and grainy drone footage. You decide which door, which route, which man goes first. You train the new guys, the ones who look at you the way you once looked at the old salts. You see yourself in them, the hunger, the certainty that they're bulletproof. You know better now. You've buried friends. You've made calls that got people hurt, calls you replay at 3 in the morning. The Navy notices you. They invite you to try out for the Special Mission Unit, the one the public knows by a number it isn't supposed to know. Green Team, the hardest selection of your life, harder than Bud/S, because now you have something to lose. You make it. You're at the tip of the spear now. The missions get darker. The names get more classified. Level 8, the ghost in the machine. You're a senior chief now, then a master chief. You've stopped counting deployments. 14, 15, who knows? Your body is a museum of injury. 2 surgeries on your knees, 1 on your shoulder, a back that no longer bends the way it should. Your ears ring constantly, a high whine that never stops. From 1,000 breaches and 1,000 rounds fired beside your head, there's something else too, the headaches. The blank moments where you lose a word, or a name, or a minute. Blast exposure. They're only now learning what years of standing next to explosions does to a brain. You forget where you parked. You snap at your kids over nothing. You feel a flat grayness where excitement used to live. You've been awarded medals you can't talk about for operations that don't officially exist. They sit in a sock drawer. You can't tell anyone what you did to earn them. You're not even sure it was worth it anymore. You just know how to do one thing, and you've done it for 20 years. Level 9, the instructor. They send you back to Coronado. Full circle. You're a master chief now, an instructor at the very same beach where you froze in the surf 20 years ago. You wear the brown shirt now. You stand on the dry sand and watch a new class of tadpoles shake in the cold Pacific. You see the same fear, the same hunger, the same 8 out of 10 who will quit. You're supposed to break them down and build them back up. But at night, alone in an empty apartment, the silence is loud. Your second marriage is over. Your kids are grown, and they talk to you like a stranger they're polite to. The brotherhood you bled for is scattered across the country, and some of them aren't answering their phones anymore. You've been to 4 funerals this year, and only one of them was from combat. The other 3 did it to themselves. You think about that more than you should. You're 50 years old, and your whole identity is a thing you're about to stop being. Level 10, the retired. You retire after 26 years. There's a ceremony in a hangar. A piped-aboard whistle, a folded flag, a speech about service and sacrifice. They give you a shadow box with your trident and your ribbons mounted in glass. Men you trained shake your hand and call you a legend. Then everyone goes home, and so do you, to a quiet house in a quiet town, and the next morning there's nothing to do. No mission, no workup, no platoon. The phone doesn't ring. You drive to the VA for your appointments. You sit in a waiting room with a number, just another veteran, and the young clerk has no idea who you were or what you carried. The ringing in your ears never stops. The headaches come and go. Some nights you walk the perimeter of your own backyard at 3 in the morning, checking corners that aren't there, because your body never learned how to stand down. You have the pension, you have the health care. The government keeps its promise, at least the financial part. But the men who really understood you are gone, and the war you fought is already a chapter in someone else's history book. You're a ghost of a thing that the country has already moved past. And somewhere, in a strip mall between a nail salon and a subway, a 19-year-old walks into a recruiting office and says he wants to be a SEAL. He's thinking about the movies. He's thinking about the Trident, the glory, the brotherhood. The recruiter slides a brochure across the desk. The kid signs his name. He has no idea what he's signing up for. He doesn't know about the cold, the funerals, the marriages that don't survive, the brain that never quite comes home. He just knows he wants to be a hero. They all do, in the beginning.